Okay, so this issue has become relevant over the course of the past couple of days because a guy named Hasan Piker, who I believe used to be a Young Turks guy, I don't really know that much about him. He apparently is a socialist Twitch streamer. There's a big article, big glowing profile about him in New York Magazine titled Streaming with Hasan Piker, the AOC of Twitch. I'm a political commentator with stands. Okay, well, in the past few months, Hasan Piker, it turns out, has been revealed to be a very wealthy person. Which good for him.
Revealed. Boys, revealed to be a very wealthy person, dude. You know, revealed. Like I was hiding it until this moment. Oh no. Motherfucker, I bought a $2.7 million house last month. You're covering it right now. Revealed my ass, dude. Last time he gets a hate video from Ben Shapiro and Alex Jones is what I'm envious of. I love this.
There's a lot of folks who are following him over at Twitch. That is his prerogative, and I'm glad for him that he's been able to build a following.
No, he's not. He's literally not. That's why you're making an entire video.
But a couple of times in the last month, it's been revealed that this out-and-out socialist, I mean, this is what he calls himself, that he is a very wealthy man. Quote, Hasan Piker was in a rage. A million tabs were pinched together like sardines at the top of his browser. His jittery cursor bounced between them, summoning network news, Chiron's YouTube rants, viral tweets, and TikTok memes. The day's trending topic, Piker, who is 30, had purchased a $2.7 million house in West Hollywood. An ordinary Twitch streamer's housing wouldn't make headlines, but over the past 5 years, Piker has become one of the most prominent socialist pundits in America. The controversy about the purchase had made it to Fox News and Breitbart, and Piker was prepared to take on the interlopers who logged on to see the fireworks. Quote, the only reason my house is expensive is because of the area I live in, he growled. Are you guys really that stupid? That's not even a response to the charge. The charge is that for a socialist, you seem to be spending large, my friend. It doesn't.
Yeah, I am. What's up, dude? It's illegal. My friend, you are not allowed to spend large.
Doesn't you could have. There are a lot of places that are not in West Hollywood that don't cost $2.7 million. They're all over the United States. You can get yourself a tiny little shack and live yourself the Henry David Thoreau lifestyle for probably.
Wait, why would I do that? Bro, this is so awesome. That's why I always say you listen to one fucking idiot on the right and you listen to all the arguments. After the month that we had here in this community, watching this video is so wonderful because it's like a summarization of all the dumbest arguments. Socialism is when broke. Socialism is when you live in a fucking wood, in a wood shack. Socialism, I can't believe this socialism making money and also spending it. What? That's fucking crazy. Like, it's wonderful. Like, this is the best that the right has, by the way. The greatest intellectual mind doing the exact same arguments as like dumbass fucking anime avatar globe Twitter freaks in my replies.
30 grand somewhere. 2.7 million bucks, a lot of money. I don't see you handing that out to all of the immiserable.
Oh, come on. You know that's not how that works, dog. You know, come on, dude. The least you could do to seem impartial and not just like fucking blinded by like jealous rage or some shit is to be able to say, now a lot of people are saying this, but you know, there's a lot of leftists that are saying this. And obviously, you know, leftists don't understand finance and econ, which is why they think that like he bought the house $2.7 million cash. Of course, he didn't do that. He probably put a down payment on. You know what I mean? Like he could say something like that to make it seem like he's being unbiased. But no, he went for it. He's like, yeah, dude, I should have bought a fucking cheaper house with cash that I have.
Commiserated workers in the Marxist social construct. Right? That's the charge. And his response is, well, of course it's expensive around here. This is West Hollywood, which of course is not a response. Piker said 3 weeks later, quote, as long as you don't defang your core values, as long as you're still speaking truth to power, then F them. Yeah, speaking truth to power is being the guy who buys the $3 million house and does interviews with New York Magazine and then jabbers about how the rich don't pay their fair share.
Wait, but like, are the rich paying their fair share? What's the problem with fucking talking to New York Magazine? They wanted to do a fucking interview. I said yes. I feel like he's just jealous that like, you know, the IDW is not getting the same kind of like Barry Weiss New York Times treatment anymore. So he's just like, how both conservatives and leftists want you to live. I mean, yeah. Ben's still mauling over this tweet. Oh yeah, remember when I fucking, oh God, this was so brutal. He said, masculinity and femininity exist. Outward indicators of masculinity and femininity exist in nearly every human culture. Boys are taught to be more masculine in virtually every human culture because of the role of the men is not always the same role of women. And I said, Ben, you're 5'3", you can't grow facial hair and weigh 100 pounds soaking wet. If we can both be considered men, you should probably be a bit more open-minded about gender expressions. It's clearly not as rigid a binary as you try to imply it is. That was a historic ratio of epic proportions. Let's keep going.
He says, I don't give a bleep. I'm doing this in the least exploitative way you functionally effing can. Really? He says, it's my labor. I'm the one who's streaming for 10 hours. Welcome to capitalism, my dude.
Did he just say my dude? I'm sorry. I wish he called me like a dirty sand monkey or something rather than hearing the words that came out of his mouth, which was my dude. Like, it would be significantly more appropriate and acceptable to hear Ben Shapiro say words like that than cowabunga, my dude. That is the word. What happened? I feel like he's been watching a particular individual who speaks exactly like that. Did he have a stroke? What happened? I just started saying my dude after watching you too much. I don't say my dude.
You bet on yourself. You've done really well, and you believe that you deserve to keep the proceeds of that labor.
That is literally like, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? Is a BioShock Andrew Ryan reference that is supposed to be libertarian, right? But actually, it is inherently socialist. A man being entitled to the sweat of his brow is literally a worker owning the means of production. That's literally the only thing. If there is one way to be as reductive about Marxism as possible, if there's one way to just summarize Marxism, don't talk about decommodification, don't talk about any of that. It's literally workers owning the means of production. Okay? What the fuck?
But aren't you exploiting all the people who are engaged in commerce with you? After all, what service of value are you providing them? You are Twitch streaming video games. Is that a vital social service? What makes that service significantly more important socially?
Yes. The classic. Socialism is when only fucking brown rice, grain, and, slop, like socialism, or at least like a different way of organizing the economy where workers have autonomy, control over their own lives, all that sort of stuff, where they can pursue more meaningful endeavors, actually see and realize the fruits of their labor, means that there will be no fun, means that there will be no entertainment, means that like people who make money will never pay for entertainment or media in general. Socialism means no entertainment, and the less there is entertainment, the more there's socialism, which is great. I just got fucking facts, and I just got logic.
Speaking, from a Marxist perspective, than the guy who picks up the garbage. Why doesn't he own a $2.7 million home in West Hollywood? According to...
Okay, the labor theory of value is not the great equalizer. People, for some weird fucking reason, think Marxism equals equilibrium, egalitarianism. That's not the case, and that's never been the case. Also, garbage people are paid fairly handsomely, mind you. Why? Because they are an essential service, and in a lot of instances, unionized. So when they actually halt their service in the form of strikes, for example, the city suffers greatly because there's fucking garbage everywhere. But Ben Shapiro lives in a world of garbage. Everything that comes out of his mouth is garbage and doo-doo. So of course, that's probably a world that he is comfortable with. He hasn't even brought up, like, it just sounds like a fucking whiny, jealous baby.
To New York Magazine, Piker is a Twitch streamer who spends every day in front of a camera speaking to his 1.5 million followers. But unlike most of the platform's top users, Piker mostly talks politics. He trawls through Twitter and roasts bad takes from career right-wing correspondents like Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson. He breaks down hawkish New York Times op-eds line by line, steadily working himself into a frothy fury. It's free associative and open-ended.
That's literally what he's doing about the New York Magazine article. I wonder if he notices that while he's doing that. Dude, why is he such a fucking sexless loser, dude? Like, he's white knuckling through a New Yorker article. It's kind of weird. Why is he seething? Like, I don't understand. Why is he fuming? I don't understand why he's fucking fuming right now while he's reading this.
I have an accelerated version of brainworms, he says. I'm literally always online. I'm consuming media nonstop. Tune into a Piker stream, watch him condemn the civilian death toll in Afghanistan. An hour later, he may move on to revisiting his favorite WWE feuds. Fans don't need to have studied Marx to understand where Piker is coming from. Well, they might have to read Marx to understand why Piker is violating core tenets of Marxism.
Like what? What core tenet? I think I might actually make more money than Ben Shapiro. I take it back. He sounds straight butthurt, dude. I'm taking it back. At first I was like, no shot. He has the Ben Shapiro show. He has so many advertisers. Now I feel like I might actually be making more money than him because he just seems... Did Ben Shapiro see the fucking meme where it's like socialism is when Hasan has no house and then was like, well, there you go. A core tenet in Das Kapital. This is wild.
He looms over his streaming rig at 6'4", broad-shouldered in a silver bracelet and paint-speckled cowboy bebop shirt, gnashing a cud of nicotine gum against his molars. On election night, from the same room, he hosted nearly 230,000 concurrent viewers, making him the 6th most watched election livestream across the internet. A month prior, he broadcast playing the video game Among Us with representatives AOC and Ilhan Omar.
Oh, now I know why he's mad, bro. I got it. I was wondering what the reason was. I got it. I now know. I'm sorry, dude. Jealousy's a disease, love. Get better soon.
Okay, and then later in this little SOP piece, he talks about the tax the rich dress that AOC wore. And here's what he said, quote, "I think the Met Gala is a disgusting, gluttonous exercise. And if given the opportunity to go, I'd do it in an effing heartbeat. I'm sorry, everyone would. Why wouldn't you want to hang out with Frank Ocean? They're not going to the effing Davos summit." Well, but yes, they are. What do you think the Met Gala is? It is a bunch of rich liberals who are getting together to feat themselves for their rich liberalism.
I think you literally missed the point. Out of all the gross events that one can attend, like all the gross gluttonous events that... Wait, did he just say feet? Hold on, I got it.
Yes, they are. What do you think the Met Gala is? It is a bunch of rich liberals who are getting together to feat themselves.
Is that a Freudian slip? He's talking about AOC at the Met Gala and he accidentally fucking had a Freudian slip, dude. Oh my God. You filthy pig. You absolute filthy little piglet. That's a self report. Yep. Chalk that up, boys. It's over. Dude, if he watched this, imagine how literally he'd take this joke. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll see it, and it's awesome.
The media are not interested in calling out hypocrisy. The reason I say that is because this story was now updated, okay? So there was a Twitch data leak. Here's how it was reported from the New York Times. Twitch, the live video site popular with gamers, said on Wednesday it had endured a data breach that security researchers believe may have provided sweeping insight into the platform's computer code, security vulnerabilities, and payments to its content creators. Twitch, which is owned by Amazon, confirmed it had been breached hours after a user posted what the user claimed was an enormous trove of Twitch data onto the anonymous message board website 4chan. Buried way down in this article, way down, is this little revelation. Quote, "According to the list of earnings, which could not be independently verified, some notable personalities had made millions of dollars since 2019. One streamer, Hasan anticipated people getting angry about the amount of money the list said he had made. I have hemorrhoid. Just woke up to some fun news," he tweeted. "Can't wait for people to be mad at me about my publicly available sub count again." And then he trended. He said, "Bro, come on."
This is a wonderful gift. Thank you. Thank you, Ben Shapiro, for delivering to me just a incredible gift. I mean, he said cowabunga, my dude. He leaked that he's a foot fetishist, and now he's just like reading my fucking tweets angrily, dude. I mean, this is incredible. I'm gonna watch this again tomorrow, most likely. I might watch this again and again. I'd probably play this on repeat. This is going up in the fucking cringe compilation up there with Alex Jones, you know? I just wish he did it at a time when he was more relevant. I feel like he fucking fell off, you know? That's why he's...
So it never says in here what exactly Hasan made. Okay, now, let's just put it this way. It makes headlines every time a conservative signs a contract. Okay, if the IRS information of conservative commentators were leaked, you think that wouldn't be front page news? It would absolutely be front page news. And it wouldn't be about the leak or how the leak came about.
Dude, they're fucking Twitch streamers, you idiot. I'm the only motherfucker there that's like a Twitch streamer who's also a political commentator. Yo, these people have lost their minds. Like, they're so horny. Like, what do you think? Fucking Felix Langiel is like a socialist political commentator? Like, what are they? Like, Glenn Greenwald said the exact same shit. It's so weird. Why would that be a big news story? Most of that stuff is like out already. My fucking information has been out. It's been publicly available. You literally read the tweet where I said it's publicly available. And like, why the fuck would the New York Times be like, I can't believe how much money Twitch streamers are making? Like, what? That's so weird that like, just because I'm one of the top creators on the platform, well, number 13, it doesn't mean that the entire platform is socialist.
Or how the leak came about. What it would be about was the amount of money that everybody was making. How do we know this? Because the front page of every major newspaper this week was about what international figures made via IRS documents that were leaked. Right, and other sort of financial documents that were leaked. It was the content that was the story. So, what exactly did these leaked documents show? It showed that...
Wait, did he just say there's a double standard? Because people were more concerned with a massive fucking hack on an Amazon-owned website and not just like income levels of fucking Twitch streamers. The most notable one who's famous for farting and then slamming the fucking fart. Did he just compare that to the International Consortium of Independent Reporters and their comprehensive news story that revolved around international billionaires and millionaires, including the Jordanian King Abdullah, and how they hide their assets in offshore tax havens? This is officially the stupidest fucking talking point I have heard about this entire process. Now, people were saying that, you know, this is the Pepega papers. This is the Pepega papers, right? Like, we were making jokes about it, and then a lot of people were like, why does no one care about Panama Papers, but everyone hyper focused on the Twitch streamers? Like, what the fuck, who gives a shit? This, I have to salute him, dude. This right here is single-handedly the dumbest fucking take I've heard about this entire process. This dumbass literally compared on like 11 different levels of false equivalencies international politicians and billionaires hiding their fucking assets in offshore bank accounts to a bunch of idiotic fart smelling Twitch streamers' income being leaked in a fucking data breach. That is brilliant. Why is the New York Times so incredibly hypocritical? That's right. The New York Times covered the Pandora Papers as well. But when it comes down to the Pepega Papers, the New York Times does not care about the income. Why would they?
Hasan apparently rakes in about $3 million a year by doing his Twitch streaming.
Not true. The fucking no. Oh my God. I thought you would, at least in your endless horniness, would recognize how to read fucking data. That's from 2019 to 2021. And it's 2.8 million over the course of 3 years, not over the course of 1 year. How are you unaware? Like, how can you not read, dude? It's like the easiest fucking thing. Can't you sue him for slander? Why would I do that? This is my FAP material. Why the fuck would I sue someone for slander, dude? Are you insane? Why would I sue Ben Shapiro for slander? This is awesome.
It's a lot more money than your average day-to-day Marxist lower class worker, right? The social class of people who are doing the actual labor that is being exploited. Why isn't that the headline? The reason that isn't the headline is because socialists are never held to their own standards. They are never.
Because maybe the people that write fucking articles aren't as stupid as you, dude. Why would that be an article? That's a fucking LSF thread. That is like a weirdo fucking incel loser on LSF being like, Ray, socialist but makes money. Like, that's not a fucking New York Times article. That would be psychotic, dude. If anything, New York Times and other fucking outlets would literally be like, people are freaking out for no apparent reason that there is a socialist Twitch streamer who is very successful.
Never held to their own standards. See, here's the thing about socialism. If you actually held to your standard, then you would presumably be very concerned with giving away a lot of your money to charity or ensuring that the amount of money that you made for your socially useless service, according to Marxist theory, because of course your labor should be judged by some outside metric that is not the market. So somebody's going to have to...
Wait. Oh, yeah, he's getting into the theory, boys. Hey, it's theory time, boys.
Then you would presumably be very concerned with giving away a lot of your money to charity or ensuring that the amount of money that you made for your socially useless service, according to Marxist theory, because of course your labor should be judged by some outside metric that is not the market.
Wait, he's not wrong. It is technically not productive labor. Like, what I do is not productive labor at all. I am not a part of the working class that produces commodities. So he's not wrong. I mean, neither is his labor, by the way. But I've never made that. Do you think entertainment is strictly non-productive? There's parts of labor within entertainment that, like background workers, things like that, they're closer to the regular working class person but Ben Shapiro considers working class. But in global socialism and communism, you can still have art and entertainment, right? I should obviously read more theory. Dude, first of all, read theory. It's a wonderful exercise, especially because it is the absolutely best way to rid yourself of the super rigid capitalist dogma that you have grown up with, okay? The social conditioning is like hard to shake. Thinking that socialism means no art is fucking psychotic, though. The USSR made beautiful art, both as a form of agitative propaganda, but also just art for the sake of consumption. This notion that like socialism means no art is psychotic. It's not real. It's not true. It has never been true. This notion of the gray, dreadful socialist dystopia is an American invention. And I'm not saying that like Stalinist USSR was great or anything like that. Obviously, there were a lot of fucking problems. But ultimately, this idea that like they were joyless fucking weirdos is just directly a consequence of Red Scare propaganda. Some of the works that you enjoy today have been heavily influenced by art that was created in the USSR. Tetris is a great example of that with respect to fucking entertainment. This idea that there will never be like entertainment in a socialist formation of the economy is really fucking stupid. It doesn't even matter because we're nowhere near there regardless. And that's why I try to be as pragmatic as possible and talk about what can be done, which in a lot of circumstances literally means like exhausting all state machinations, trying to organize people's workplaces, helping ongoing efforts to unionize all around the country, covering labor strikes and things of that nature as best as possible, helping mutual aid, and once again, trying to urge people to go and run for local office and put socialists in positions of power. No matter how low on the fucking totem pole that is, it doesn't matter. It's still important. None of this even fucking matters ultimately, because look at the random argument that we are having currently, or look at what I'm describing to you right now. I'm describing all of this to you because it's that easy for Ben Shapiro to lie about socialism and what socialism represents, because he's relying on pre-existing Red Scare propaganda to be like, oh, you're a socialist? Can't do entertainment. That's right. Owned. You need to work at the factory. It's silly. It's not real. And it doesn't matter. You might think my work is unimportant. You might say you're just sitting in a fucking living room, you piece of shit. Don't take yourself too seriously. I certainly don't. I think a lot of people appreciate what I do, though. Being able to break down contemporary news and offer historical context and even add a touch of historical materialism into subject matters that revolve around anti-imperialism, labor rights, labor organizing, social justice, and helping marginalized communities. I think these are important things. I try to make it as palatable as possible. I try to use my privilege for good. This is why I do what I do. Some people tend to think that this is, maybe it's not commodity production and it's not productive labor in that academic sense, but people seem to think it's worthwhile. And also, not only do they seem to think it's worthwhile, but they seem to think that it's worth $5 a month. So much so that despite the fact that, you know, I don't charge for this content at all, everything is free. My IP is fucking free to use if you want to use it. There's plenty of fans that have their own, like Hasan fan pages that bring in and make their own money. People seem to think that it is worthwhile to them. Maybe not to Ben Shapiro, though. Anyway, I was just holding off on this. I just don't want this to end. You know what I mean? So let's see what Ben has to say.
So somebody's going to have to explain, by Marxist theory, why exactly it is more valuable for a guy to sit around and stream video games than it is for somebody to clean toilets. I can explain it because market says that's what it's worth. Things are worth what people say they are worth. But I'm not sure how, from a Marxist perspective, you can make that case.
Wait, does he think that I get paid like wage labor or something? I don't understand it. It's entertainment, dude. The value ascribed to this content is up to the individual. They are the ones who decide to give me money. I mean, look, here's the thing. When I started the Hasanabi broadcast on twitch.tv/Hasanabi, I started streaming from a fucking PlayStation 4 with a bunk-ass PlayStation 4 camera playing Fortnite with friend of the show, Felix Biederman of the Chapo Trap House podcast. And when I first started, I had 35 people watching. I was saying the exact same things back then. I never knew that it was going to grow to this size. I never knew this community would be so gigantic. I never knew that I would generate this much revenue. But I was still saying the same things back then as I am now. It would be hypocritical of me and disingenuous of me to change my perspective now that I make more money. So I always find it weird when people are like, oh, dude, you're such a hypocrite. It's like, no, you're upset because I'm not a fucking hypocrite, because I didn't change my perspective now that I fucking have money. And it's such a strange thing to me. Let's keep going.
I also am not sure how you defend a $2.7 million home or a $3 million income for doing those things and then say it's my labor. No. That's my perspective, dude. If you're going to do the it's my
That's not your perspective. Don't ever say, dude, you fucking nerd.
case. I also am not sure how you defend a $2.7 million home or a $3 million income for doing those things and then say it's my labor. No. That's my perspective, dude. If you're going to do the it's my labor routine, welcome to capitalism, my dude.
Yo, this is so cringe, dude. It's really bad. Him saying my dude is like the worst thing I've ever... It's literally worse than anything he's ever done. My dude? Yeah, capitalism is when workers realize the fruits of their labor and there's nothing exploitative about it. Socialism is whatever the fuck Ben Shapiro thinks it is. Socialism is just no house and no voluntary fucking $5 a month subscription that accumulates to an ungodly amount of wealth. By the way, it's a fucking insane amount of money. It's like socialism is when you're poor. Capitalism is when you're a worker and you know, have a greater share of the means of production and also aren't being exploited by your bosses. That's capitalism.
So it is amusing to watch the media play this game. You're a hypocrite. if you are a right-winger who abrogates your own principles, if you're a left-wing socialist who earns millions of dollars for talking online, then you are not a hypocrite in any way. By the way, if you're a left-wing outlet that rails against the evils of capitalism while taking millions of dollars from hedge funds and YouTube, you're not a hypocrite either. That's the way this works. Nobody has to hold you to account or point out that you need to, if you are Young Turks, for
okay, I don't know why he's like tagging the Young Turks on this. We're separate, bro. Okay, I don't appreciate that you're just like adding TYT into a video that was supposed to be centered around me. I don't know why you're shaking. You should probably see the fucking, dry ass pussy doctor wife that you have about the shaking. You literally look like you're pissing, shitting, and farting currently. I've never seen the human manifestation of seething. It's such a strange way to cover this article. He didn't even make one good fucking argument, dude. That's wild.
And you attempt to crush your own unionization efforts, right? If you are the outlet for unionization is the only thing that matters. And then like a couple of years ago, it turns out that people at your place are trying to unionize and you yell at them not to unionize. Nobody seems to care very much about that.
By the way, people absolutely cared about that, and they absolutely should care about that. I mean, I was very critical of Cenk as well, very publicly critical of Cenk, standing in front of unionization efforts. TYT is currently unionized, but Cenk did engage in like a classic light anti-unionization tactic, which is still unacceptable, but I'm not Cenk, so I don't know why he's like tagging this on, but I guess like he couldn't really find too much to make up about what socialism is. So he just decided to just like add Cenk in there or something. I don't know. Send me 2K or shut the fuck up. Bro, it's called mutual aid, bro. Send me 2K or shut the fuck up, bro.
And now here's my belief about hypocrisy. You can make the case for Hasan or TYT, or who I believe Hasan used to be a TYT. You can make the case for all of these people that personal activity doesn't abrogate the principle. Now, you can make the case that the Marxist principles are correct and you are living in opposition to those.
Literally, Cenk is not a Marxist. Oh my God, what is this? Oh my God. Okay, dude, that emote is fucking disgusting. Cenk is not a Marxist. He's never been a Marxist. He's a filthy little capitalist, dude. Cenk has always been a capitalist. He's a social democrat. But let's hear what he has to say about individual responsibility.
That the Marxist principles are correct and you are living in opposition to those Marxist principles because everybody is a sinner, right? This is sort of the religious perspective. There are religious principles about morals. You don't always live up to those because everybody is.
Why is an Orthodox Jewish man talking about the dogmatic thought in Marxist analysis? Like, I don't get it. Like, what the fuck? He is not wrong though. There is a lot of dogmatic thinking that Marxists unfortunately engage in, and I don't appreciate that. But let's hear what else he has to say.
That doesn't mean the morals are wrong. It means you're wrong. But you can't have it both ways. You can't say everything I'm doing is entirely justified and I'm a Marxist stalwart while simultaneously living high on the hog the way that.
Well, if I was fucking doing what Cenk did and like union busting, then yeah, that's fair. He would have the right to say that, but I'm not doing that. So I don't know.
A capitalist would. Here's my capitalist view of all this. Congratulations to Hasan on earning his business success. I hope he enjoys his $2.7 million house and his $200,000 of earned income every month. I hope he enjoys it to the fullest of his ability and lives a happy, fulfilling capitalist life. Same for all of the people over at places like TYT. But please stop pretending that you are a good Marxist if you don't live like a Marxist and justify yourself in capitalist terms.
Wait, dude, this is literally, I wonder what neoliberals will say when they fucking watch this video. I guess they're like full-blown Ben Shapiro fans at that point, right? Like, I can see it already. Based. Yeah, live like a Marxist, by the way, which is live in a, what was his suggestion? Live in a fucking log cabin. This is the weakest argument, dude. How the fuck does anyone think that this is like the bastion of logic and reasoning, which is like, hey guys, you might be shocked to find out, like, I'm obviously not even making this comparison to myself, but with respect to like people that have done so much for Marxism, including Karl Marx himself or Engels, but they all had houses. Engels also owned a factory. So, you know, this idea that like Marxism means no house is really weird. Anyway, why did Ben associate you with TYT? Did he not see your announcement? Friendship ended with TYT. Now Twitch is my best friend. That's right. That's how I announced that I was gonna do my own thing.